This game right here is called Uno. It's at least 2 players, but it works best with 3 or more. I found like 3 to 6 is a pretty good amount to play this game. The goal of the game is to be the first one to get rid of all your cards, because you get points based off how many cards remain in the other player's hands. Now normally each player would have their cards only facing themselves, so the opponents can't see, but for the purpose of the video, then obviously you need to see what's going on. Okay, say this player was the dealer. Each person gets 7 cards. You deal them 1 at a time to each player until everyone has 7. The top card is flipped over and placed here, and the rest of the pile is face down right there. When it goes to the next player's turn, which is always the player to the left of the dealer, is the one that goes first. So each round you rotate who deals. They either have to have a card that matches the number on this or the color. So since it's blue, they could play like a blue 5, and that would be okay. But they couldn't play their green, yellow, or red card because it wouldn't match the number or the color. And then it's going this way. It rotates clockwise to start with. This next player, as you can see, they don't have a blue card or a 5. So then they would draw 1 card from here. They got a blue card, so they can play it on that turn. If they got a card that they can't play, they would just keep it. They don't get to continually draw. They just draw 1 time. So now it would move over to this player's turn. For them, let's say they play a 7. And then it would move over to this player's turn. Now this one right here, it's called a reverse, and that reverses the direction of the game. So what they do, if they play this, now it's going counterclockwise, so it would rotate this way. So now it's back to this player's turn. Let's see what they choose to play. They can play this card right here. What this one does, it shows +2. And that means the next player, which is this one, has to draw 2 cards from here, and it ends their turn. So they draw 2 cards, and it ends their turn. Now it becomes this player's turn. Now, they can do the same thing. They can do a +2 right here. And then they can, it'll switch to green. The reason they can do that, see, they're both +2 cards. That's why they can do that. So then this player is forced to take 2 cards. And it ends their turn. Now it's this one. And then see, now it had switched to green. So now this player can actually play something. So say they do this and reverse it, because they want it going back in the other order. And of course this player has the same thing, so they could do it. It's kind of a way of getting back at this player. Since they've made them draw cards, they could just keep skipping their turn as much as possible. Then it's them again. Say they, I don't know, they play a 7. It doesn't really matter. Now when it comes to this player, they don't have a green card or a 7. There's 2 things they can do. They can either draw one off here and hope that they can play it, or they can use their wild card. What the wild card does, you can play it on any card, and then you get to choose what color you want going forward. Now, they don't really have a lot of any color. They have 1 of each, so it doesn't really matter too much for them. So I guess they chose red because they have red. Moves this guy. He still has 1 red, so he can play that. This one has red. He chooses to play this. That's a skip card. What that does is it skips the next player's turn, so that would be skipping this guy's turn. Then it goes over to this guy. As you see, he doesn't have red. He has 2 types of wild cards. He chooses to play this one. What this does, if you don't have the color that's up there, you can play this, and you get to choose which color you want it to be from now on. And also the following player has to pick up 4 cards. Now, they can actually challenge you and say that you're lying, that you really had that color, which was red. And then you have to show that player only your hand. And if they were wrong, and you played it correctly, then they would have to draw 6 cards instead of 4. But if they would be correct, then you would have to draw the 4 instead of them. So, just say they didn't challenge, then they would have to draw the 4 cards and it ends their turn like that. Okay, and then the play would continue over here. Say they switched it to blue since they have blue. So then they'd play that, and then this one would go like that. And this guy, he just got a blue, so he can do that, forcing this player to draw 2 more cards, keeping them from winning. This guy, okay, he uses his wild card and changes the color to green. And then this guy does have a green one, so he can play that. This one doesn't have a green card. He actually has 2 of the same 9s. See, there's a line underneath to show you. The line goes on the bottom to show you that's a 9. So he'd have to draw 1. Then this guy'd go there. And then when you're down to 1, you gotta say Uno. If you don't, and the next player goes and they say Uno, then you have to draw 2 cards. But you'd say Uno, and play'd continue until you get rid of all your cards. When you get rid of all your cards, you add up points based on what they got left in their hand. Most of the cards are face value. These ones that are colored like that, those are worth 20. The black ones, both the wild cards, those are worth 50, and these type are worth 20. So, and the reverse thing, those are worth 20. Pretty much the black ones are worth 50. Any card that's not a normal number card that has some special ability, they're worth 20. The rest of them are worth face value. You add up all the points from the opponent's hands and write them down, and then you do the next round. And the first player to get to 500 points wins the game.